right, we're going to be repinning a grand hammer flange that's tight. Using the swing test, we want at least 6 to 8 swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. So we've got a tight flange. We're going to remove the pin. On most pins, one side is smooth, the other side has a cut. You can see the little notch in the middle. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from the smooth side, I'm going to use this tool to push that pin out, making sure that my point here is only on the pin and not on the bushing cloth. I push that pin out, make sure that you catch that pin. Because the first thing you're going to do is use the micrometer to measure it. Oh, good save.
Ooh.
That is what you don't want to do. You do not want to lose that pin. But I'm going to use the micrometer to measure it. And it's 51 and a half. I don't know if you can see the measure there. That 0 would be 50. There's 51, 51 and a half. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to have to move to a size 52 pin. I've marked the sizes on my pin case. Did I hold that still long enough for you?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. And I always measure the pin I take out to make sure that it indeed is and that is a 52. So 0 would be 50, 51, 52. So I'm going to use this pin. Anytime you're repinning a flange, it has to be tight in this part, which is called the bird's eye. And you cannot ever be able to push it through with your fingers, or that is too loose. It takes a mechanical push. It was tight before. We now have a bigger pin, so we now know it's super tight. So we're going to have to remove felt. I use these, Don Menino designed these, and they're sold by Shaft, but they come in the different diameters. I always use several smaller, so we were a 52 pin. I'm going to use a 49 size, because you can always take off more material, but once it's taken off, you can't put it back in. So on these brooches, most of it's smooth, but then there's one part that it's roughed up, and that's the part that cuts. I insert it, twirling it as I go, and that helps to make sure that I'm not going to push the bushing cloth out. I'm going to go just to where the cutters come through. There I can see some material coming off. I'm going to come back out. And I'm going to go in the other side, twirling as I go, coming to the cutters, watching by my finger. There I can see material just coming off. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I have it now in the smooth section. I'm going to hold the tool pretty close to the flange, and I'm just going to spin it around to iron the cloth that I just cut. Now I'm going to take my size 52 pin, and this is kind of where the artistry comes in of just I think this is still too tight. So I'm going to take the same brooch and spinning. Go a little further with the cutting. Bring it out. I could see that I took more material off. Other side. Cutting. Ironing. It's so fun. Trying it again. And notice that there's a pointed side and a blunt side, and you always want to go in with the pointed side. That's better. Other side. I'm going to try putting it together. Now, this pin is the smallest size pin. It's an 18, and it goes easily through the bird's eye. And I'm just using this pin as an alignment mechanism so that it again takes some skill and feeling just to say everything is lined up. But when everything lines up without any pressure whatsoever, I just push that pin through. So now I know things are lined up. Then I take the pointed side, push that alignment pin, and now I can't push any further with my fingers, so I know that pin's at the bird's eye. I'm going to use the pushing side of this tool and push it in, catching the alignment tool or alignment pin. And then we can give it a swing test. And at this point, you just hope for the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, sometimes if you think it's tight, you can, you know, swing it around and make it. But given that this is a bigger hammer, I'm going to say we've improved it and that there will be less friction. Then the last part of it is you need to have a nipper that the only thing that this cuts is your center pin, and you're going to cut off the excess part of the pin and have it in your hand in such a way that you catch the little cutting. And that was repinning a grand flange that was tight.